Hello and welcome back to Track My Files online training segments. Today we're going to be discussing the electronic reviewed by and final approval features. There are several columns listed on your checklist. The date completed will be automatically filled in when you upload a document. The Done column will automatically have a green check mark in it once you've uploaded a document. If a document is non-applicable to a transaction, go ahead and click it and that line becomes highlighted in red and it's not applicable. This way you don't have to go through and edit all of your lists. You'll notice the Note column. This is where you insert notes about a specific document. And you'll notice the Docs column. Once you've uploaded a document into the system, this will change to an Acrobat icon. When a document has been reviewed, this column will be checked, and when a document has been approved finally, this column will be checked. Any changes you make onto your checklist, go ahead and save those changes so Track My File knows to hold that information for you. You'll notice too at the top of the checklist, once you've saved the changes, that'll record any notes that you've added to the system. You may hide completed items, you may hide not applicable items, and you also may edit the tracking list. As we all know, in some transactions, a document is not required. That's why we have the not applicable, but in some circumstances we need to add an additional document to our tracking list. This is done by selecting the Add and entering a number of line items you wish to incorporate into your list. And now at the bottom of the page, you'll note that we have a new list item that we can add a document to. Save the changes, and you also may change the order in which that line item appears in the list. You can bring it up to any one of the line items. Save those changes. When you make a modification to a checklist within a transaction, it does not affect your master tracking list. And now you'll note that we have a new line item. Once you've subscribed to the electronic review and final approval feature, you can begin using that service right away. You'll note that when you log on in your alerts section, after a document is uploaded by a team member or a party that's participating in the transaction, you'll have a new alert. Files with documents for review. Click on that hyperlink. Open the transaction. And now you'll see a list of documents that have been uploaded. Simply click on the Acrobat icon. Click on the document name. You'll note that once you've opened the document, you have the option to visually review that. Make sure it's complete. If the document is incomplete, you can close the window and use the communication log to send a message to the party that uploaded the document and request a completed document. If the document is complete, go ahead and select the review document. And now you'll note that your electronic signature, date and time stamp is inserted in a face page directly in that document. Once you've reviewed a document, you may not remove your credentials. Once the electronic stamp is inserted into the document, close the window, and now you'll clearly note on our document list that the document has been reviewed. You'll notice that the final approval column is left empty. That is because the party with the final approval rights has not yet reviewed this and signed off for completion on this document. If you have the final approval rights within your organization, simply click on the Alerts box, Files with Docs for Final Approval. Locate your property, click on it, and now you're brought to the tracking list that you need to pay attention to. You'll notice that item number 4 was opened for review but was not reviewed by a participant. So we have a caution sign that lets us know that this is incomplete. To put our stamp of approval on a document, we simply click on the Docs column on the Acrobat icon, click on the document name, review the document. If it's incomplete, we can choose the Close Window option and that will place an alert on our checklist, that caution alert. But if this document is complete, select Review Document, and your Approved By signature is now placed in the document. Go ahead and close the window, and you'll note that your document has the final approval stamp. Another place to review documents is in the File Documents tab. Select View Documents, and you'll note that there are several documents in this transaction. Some of the docs have been reviewed and approved, and some of them have not. In order to either review or approve a document from the File Documents list, simply click on this icon. Review the document for completion. If it is incomplete, again select the closed window. If it is complete, select Review. Now your final approval has been placed in the document. Close the window. Note next to the document, in the Who Can View or Last Viewed, the final approval date and timestamp is inserted, as well as the file reviewer. Note, if you are a reviewer without final approval rights, your reviewer's stamp will be placed in the Reviewers section. If you have final approval and reviewer's right, your signature will be placed in both sections. And if you simply have final approval rights and not reviewer rights, your signature will be placed only in the final approval section. Thank you for joining us in this segment.